Our film begins with the university professor and archaeologist Hooper, who is accompanied by a dog searching for his family who disappeared after entering a cave. They were attempting to discover the Fountain of Youth in 1970. According to the legend, the water of the fountain is said to be capable of restoring youth and health. When Hooper reaches the site of the disappearance, he finds the cave. As he approaches the entrance, he shines his flashlight and sees a cowboy wearing old-fashioned clothes that do not belong to their era. The cowboy stands in place and does not move, as if he were a statue. Hooper is shocked by the sight, becomes frightened, and returns home. It turns out that Hooper had planned to explore this cave with his colleagues Tyler and Jackie. However, when he gets home, he tells them that things have changed and does not reveal what he saw because he is worried about their safety. Hooper decides to return to the cave alone, ties a rope to a rock outside the cave, and enters. He finds a barrier layer separating the inner world of the cave from the outer world. He reaches his hand through the layer, and as soon as he enters, the previously frozen cowboy begins to move. 2 days pass during Hooper's cave exploration, and Tyler and Jackie have not heard any news from him. They decide to go search for him at the cave. Since Hooper had taken their car, they call Kara, Tyler's girlfriend, and ask her to come with her father's car. Kara brings her sister Fives, who has a school project, along with Verby, Fives' schoolmate. The group reaches the location Hooper had told them about and finds Hooper's family car. They realize that Hooper wanted to find his family and had been searching for people missing since the 1970s. They find an old rope extending inside the cave and inspect it. It resembles Hooper's rope, but it looks old, even though he has only been missing for 2 days. The group decides to descend through the cave opening using ropes, leaving Verby above because he is too afraid to go down. When they descend, Kara discovers the same barrier layer Hooper had found 2 days earlier and remarks that the air and atmosphere on the other side are completely different. They decide to cross through the layer. At the same time, Hooper is walking behind the cowboy and begins to sense that something is wrong. He sees lights flickering on and off, as if someone is holding a large flashlight and switching it on and off at the cave entrance. Suddenly, he hears a scream and flees from the cave quickly. Hooper had entered the cave 5 minutes earlier in the morning, and the sun was shining. However, when he emerged, he found that it was nighttime, and that the environment outside the cave had completely changed. When he went to his car, he found the plants had overgrown it, and he realized that decades had passed for him inside the cave. He also found Kara's car and Jackie's bag, so he decided to enter the cave again. The group began exploring the cave from the inside. Suddenly, they heard a scream, which frightened the girls, and they decided to exit the cave. Jackie insisted on going out, so she began to descend the rope from the opening, but the rope broke while she was on it, and she fell to the ground. Tyler tried to save her and grabbed the second rope, but it broke as well. The group thought that Verby had intentionally cut the ropes as a prank. They tried to communicate with Verby through their walkie-talkies, but he did not respond. After a while, they heard static from the walkie-talkie, followed by a distress call, so they kept trying. They left the injured Jackie behind because she could not walk. The group reached the other side of the cave and found a broken rope. When it came loose, they discovered Verby's body with a broken neck. They also found Verby's camera beside the body and played the recording to understand what had happened. The recording showed that Verby had been filming himself opening Hooper's father's notebook, which stated that the cave contained magical water capable of healing any disease. Hooper's sister had a severe illness, so her family decided to search the cave for the water to cure her. Days had passed while Verby waited for his friends to return, so he decided to enter the cave himself to search for them, fearing they might have died, and also to retrieve the car key from them to go home. The recording also showed that the rope Verby was holding onto to descend from the opening had broken, causing him to fall from a great height. He survived but remained unconscious for 1 hour. When he woke up, he saw someone approaching and thought it was Tyler, but it turned out to be a primitive caveman who killed him. Fives noticed an inconsistency in the camera's timestamp, as it showed only 1 hour had passed inside the cave. Because Tyler and Jackie were injured, only Kara and Fives could exit the cave and look for help. Fives led the way since she was older and managed to find a way out. However, she found herself in a completely different place, devoid of any signs of life, full of rocks and mystical elements. The air was strange, and Kara struggled to breathe due to the lack of oxygen. She saw a massive dust storm approaching and noticed something flying in the sky in the shape of a triangle in space. She could not use her phone to contact the police, so she left it. When the group saw this, they told her that she did not have time to act or call for help because she had returned only seconds after exiting. In reality, she had been outside the cave for half an hour. At that moment, they realized that time outside the cave passes much faster than it does inside. This phenomenon makes everything that happens inside the cave move or occur in slow motion. Tyler says that the ropes hanging outside the cave have aged over a long period of time and were torn when they tried to climb up because of friction with the rocks, making them old and weak. Fives then replays Verby's recording on the camera and notices that the sun rises and sets rapidly as Verby is falling from the opening. The footage also shows summer and winter conditions passing, and a whole year goes by in just 1 second. It turns out that the group has spent around 1,400 years inside the cave, which to them felt like only a few minutes. Kara begins to climb the opening again and suddenly a ladder with highly advanced technology descends from the opening into the area where the group is located. A huge humanoid wearing a spacesuit climbs down the ladder. Suddenly, a primitive caveman appears and attacks the alien, but the alien manages to kill him. The group becomes terrified by what's happening and runs deeper into the cave, where they find the bodies of the cowboy and Hooper's family, all dead. Suddenly, 3 primitive humans appear, and it turns out that they were the ones who killed Hooper's family. Tyler decides to attack one of them, but the caveman brutally kills him. The girls panic and quickly flee to the other side of the cave. Kara returns to Tyler and finds him dead, crying over the loss of her lover. Then the alien appears, picks up Tyler's body, and places it into a pool of water inside the cave. Something magical happens, and Tyler comes back to life. The cavemen return again and attack the alien, who removes the helmet from his suit, exposing himself to the air. Unable to breathe, he still manages to kill the cavemen before dying, burning in the process. The group then sees news videos from the media talking about their disappearance. It turns out that humans have left Earth and moved to another planet to prevent extinction, as Earth had become uninhabitable. The group realizes there's no way back, and that their only choices are to travel to the new planet or stay in the cave for the rest of their lives. Tyler finds Hooper injured on the ground, and in front of them is a separating layer. On the other side of the layer stands Hooper's sister, who went missing in the 1970s, along with many other people of different ages, generations, and time periods, all frozen in place and fighting over the Fountain of Youth. Hooper explains what he has discovered, that the cave is a temporal system designed to protect the fountain, and that each layer has its own specific time speed. The deeper layers of the cave move more slowly through time than the layer where Tyler and Hooper are. The group uses the magical water to heal the injured Jackie and also place Verby's body into it, bringing him back to life. Suddenly, another primitive human enters and attacks them. With nowhere left to run, they decide to use the same ladder the alien descended from to escape. They climb to the top of the opening, where there is a barrier layer separating the opening from the water. Kara tries to break through it and manages to cross, but suddenly strange creatures grab her. They are humans whose bodies have evolved over the ages. They put a breathing mask on Kara so she can survive. After a while, Kara returns to the cave wearing a spacesuit and carrying a futuristic high-tech rope. She helps the group climb up with her, including Verby, Hooper, and his family. In the end, everyone emerges alive aboard a spaceship heading toward the planet where humanity now lives.